if you were on my live this morning, then you saw me before I had my bath, you saw me before I had breakfast, and you saw me before I did my laundry. Yeah. So I just want to talk about this thing real quick. And um, there's a very loud noise in the background, but I hope that um, you can still hear me. Um, there are people who secretly admire you, and that is the truth. That is the fact. Um, there are people that like us a lot more than we would ever know. There are people that like us a lot more than they would ever tell us, or they would ever let us figure out. Um, and sometimes it's because of their own deficiency that they don't want us to know how much they like us. Maybe because people that they have really liked have hurt them in the past, so they don't want to give that power away anymore. Or because they don't know how you react if you found out how much they like you, how much they admire you, how much they respect you. Or just because they don't know how to express themselves, they don't know how to express their feelings, they don't know how to show a lot of their emotions, right? So that's probably why you wouldn't figure it out. Sometimes it's just because you and this person, your paths don't cross as much for them to let you know what they really think about you, for them to let you know how they really feel about you, right? There are certain times that I've been walking, or either walking along the road, and someone will say, "Oh, I like your dress. I like your glasses. I like the way you look. I like your skin." Right? That's because they have probably been noticing me for like maybe 30 minutes. But just because I was privileged to cross their path at that moment, that's probably why they just let me know about the compliment. But if I had not crossed their path at that moment, they would have been silent with their thoughts, that they thought I looked good, they liked my skin, they liked my confidence, where I carried myself. And I, on the other hand, would not know that there's someone in this place that is seriously admiring me. I would not know that there's a girl here that likes the way that I dress. And sometimes we second guess ourselves a lot, right? You're probably wondering, oh, my outfit today, was it bomb? My outfit today, did I put it together well? Meanwhile, there's someone else that saw you, that day, that liked the way you look, that liked the way you put yourself together, right? If you go out in a day, there are probably 5 people who saw you, who admired you, but never had the chance to tell you anything. Either when you're walking across the street, or when you went into the cafe, or when you showed up at work, or when you went to the ATM, or when you're about to get into your car, or when you stepped off the bus. There is a high chance that somebody somewhere probably saw you, liked the way you looked, liked the way you carried yourself, just admire something about you. It might not even be your look, it might be your aura, but they never had the chance or the opportunity to tell you. So you might not know what they really think about you. You might not know what they really feel about you. Okay, but just know that there are people who secretly admire you. There are people who silently respect you. There are people who quietly, look up to you. There's something they admire about you. There's something they really like about you. But most often times, they never have the opportunity to let you know how they really feel. Okay, probably by chance your paths never cross, or you never see them. Or some people are just very introverted. They don't know how to give compliments. They don't know how to express their feelings. So they could be in the same room with you. They could really like you. They could really admire you, but they just would not have the courage to open their mouth and let you know that they like this thing that you do. They like what you said. They like the way you encourage them. There's something about you that they respect, and there's something about you that they like. Hi, Epic Beats. Nice to see you on the live again. You were here yesterday. I remember. It's nice to see you here again. Thank you for joining in. So today we're talking about people who secretly admire us, people who quietly respect us, people who silently, see something about us that they like, see something about us that they're interested in, see something about us that they can look up to, but probably they never have the chance to, let us know. Now, the downside of that is that if they never walk up to us to tell us, we might never know that somebody somewhere admires us. So, rather than seeing ourselves for who we really are, we are filled with self doubt. Sometimes doubt even turns to hatred, doubt even turns to loath. Oh, you said I want to listen to you, but I have to sleep. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you so much for being here. I guess I will see you some other time on my live. You can always tune in. I go live a lot, so you can always join in any day, anytime. I really, really appreciate you. Take care of yourself. Do have a restful sleep. Do have a restful night, and we will interact some other time. Bye. So yeah, as I was saying in continuation of the conversation, now the downside of people never complimenting you when they see something about you that they like is that you might start to doubt yourself, which is why you cannot do things just because people say that they like it. Also, you cannot wait until people praise you before you live your life. You cannot live your life based on how much attention you're getting, based on how much praise you're getting, based on how much how many people are cheering you on, right? You cannot live your life that way, because you might be doing something great, you might be doing something unique, you might be doing something worth sharing, something worth looking at and saying, wow, that's awesome. You might be doing something like that, but the people around you, the people who are noticing your craft, the people who are paying attention may not want to tell you that you're doing something good. So you have to know within yourself that you are doing something worthwhile, because people might see something great about you, but they might never tell you. Which is why you cannot live your life based on, on public praise, based on cheers, based on attention. You cannot live your life based on that, because people might see the greatness in you, but never want to tell you that you're doing something great. They might never want to tell you that you're doing something worthwhile. Sometimes people can recognize the light in you, but they are jealous of you. They are envious of you. They feel like if they let you know how awesome you really are, then you will continue to grow better, you will continue to soar, you will continue to get bigger. So they never want to tell you how awesome you really are, in an effort to put you down, in an effort to make sure that you don't grow bigger than you currently are. They don't want to encourage you so you don't get better, right? So some people intentionally withhold praises, some people intentionally withhold compliments, because they don't want you to feel good about yourself. They don't want your head to swell. They don't want you to feel as important as you really are, right? So they intentionally withhold compliments from you. And if you notice that the people around you are intentionally withholding compliments, either your friends or your family, your co-workers, or basically just people that you surround yourself with, I think the best thing you can do for yourself, one of the good things you can do for yourself, is to try to change your circle, right? If the people in your workplace don't necessarily encourage you, that's fine. You're just there to make money and earn a living. But you should carefully pick out your friends. You should carefully nitpick the people that you surround yourself with, to ensure that these are people that can hype you up. If they see that you're doing something worth encouraging, they would also encourage you, right? Not people that want to see your downfall, not people that are jealous of you, not people that are envious of you, not people that are secretly hoping that you fail. Okay, you don't want to surround yourself with those kind of people. You want to surround yourself with kind of people that they are also winning in life, because if they are winning in life, they would also want to see you win. Okay, people that have pure hearts, people that have open hearts, people that will encourage you when you're doing right, and people that will let you know when you're on the wrong path. That's the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with. Now sometimes there are people that, due to circumstances, due to life, basically they don't have a circle, they don't have friends, right? They don't really have people around them. Like there's some people that do remote work, they work from home, so they don't have colleagues. Okay, they don't belong to any group, they don't belong to any institution, they're just homebodies, always at home, right? So they don't have a circle, they don't have friends, they don't have people that they constantly come across. I am here to let you know that you are doing exceptionally well, to let you know that you look good. I like the way you carry yourself, I like the way you present yourself. There is something about you that is worth admiring. There is something about you that is worth sharing on. There is something about you that is worth emulation. There's just something about you that is very unique. Trust me, every day of your life, every day that you step out, there are people that secretly admire you, but just because of life circumstances, they never get the chance to really let you know how much they admire you, to really let you know how much they look up to you, to really let you know how much your dress and inspire them, the word that you spoke, the way you speak. Sometimes even the way you speak to someone will just be like, wow, I like that. Even me, there are so many people that I see like every day. So sorry, it's a bit hot. If you live in my country, you know how hot it really is. So there are people that are even me, I see them like daily. I see them once in a while, or I come across them once, and I admire something about them: the way that they speak, their skin tone, their hair, the way they carry themselves, like just how they act, their aura, the kind of friends that they have. Most people that I see something in them that I like, okay, something in them that I appreciate, except for those that don't have anything worth appreciating. But most people that I see something in them that I like, something in them that I appreciate. And if I do get the opportunity, if I get the chance, I always like to let them know that I like this thing about you. I like your outfit. That thing that you said, it was really smart. The way you presented yourself, or presented that statement, it was really good. I like that thing about you. At that particular point in time, like, you really drew my attention. At that particular point in time, I just like that thing that you did at that. I try to compliment people as much as I can. Some days I'm conscious of it, some days I'm not. But whenever I see someone with something that I like or admire, I do try my best now. I didn't used to be able to give compliments before, but the older that I've gotten, the more I know how valuable compliments are. The more I know how necessary it is to compliment other people when they do something good, when they look good, when they act good. It is very necessary to compliment people. Some people only want to receive, but they never want to give. They never want to give compliments to other people. They never want to cheer other people on. But that's the very like wrong way to look at life. That's the very wrong way to behave. Okay, why don't you want to give compliments? For what reason? If I look good and I compliment you that you also look good, it doesn't stop me from looking as good as I should, as looking as good as I would. It doesn't stop me at all. If you look good, I'm going to tell you that you look good. It doesn't mean I don't look good. It just means that I see you, I like what I see, and I acknowledge it. Okay, this background noise is really loud. I hope that everyone can still hear me. I don't know what you're drilling or what you're doing, but like, it's just really loud. Okay, if you live in neighborhoods, I'm sure you must have experienced unnecessarily loud noise in the middle of the day. Like, are you for real? Just being unnecessarily loud for no reason. But I hope everyone can still hear me, everyone on the live. Thank you for joining anyways. I really appreciate you. And if you're here, be sure to leave a comment. Lately I've been getting like a lot of comments. This is exactly what I'm talking about, like dropping compliments, dropping comments, okay? And sometimes there are people that you would know them over a period of years, and they would never tell you how they really feel about you, both good and bad. People do it for different reasons that they have, but sometimes I would never really understand it. But just know that people are not always true about how they feel about you. Some people will definitely let you know that you light up their world. Okay, you are the reason they're still standing, you're the reason they are still here, you are the reason they started this, you are the reason they kept on doing that, you contributed to their progress, you contributed to their success. Okay, there are people that would definitely let you know, because that's just the kind of person that they are. They are outgoing, they don't mind giving compliments, they don't mind appreciating you. But there will also be other people that, for just like unnecessary reasons, they feel the need to withhold that information from you. Okay, they don't feel the need to let you know. Sometimes it's because of themselves, right? Like the way that they see themselves. Some people are not good at acknowledging other good things. Okay, but sometimes it's because they don't want you to, like, they don't want your head to swell, they don't want you to feel like better than you already feel, so they just hold that information. Especially when they see like maybe 10 or 20 other people that are praising you, they don't want to like join the crowd to let you know that you are doing really good, or so that you won't feel yourself too much, so they hold that information. But what I'm just saying is that whether you get validation or not, you should know when you are on the right path. You should know when you're doing well. If nobody else is going to cheer you on, cheer yourself on. If nobody else is going to tell you that you're doing the right thing, or you look good, or you sound good, you sound smart, like you're just like you are the real deal, you should actually know. And every day you wake up, look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself good things. Tell yourself nice things. If you're waiting for other people to acknowledge you, you might be waiting for the longest time. Honestly, like there are definitely people like your family and maybe your close friends that will, tell you the truth about yourself, that will let you know that okay, you are the best in this thing. Okay, but at the same time, if they don't show up for you, show up for yourself. There's this popular Nigerian song that says, if nobody clap for you, clap for yourself. Basically, that's the reality of life. If nobody else is going to cheer you on, you should be able to cheer yourself on. Timileyin Faswan, I hope I'm not going to like murder this name. Timileyin Faswan, thank you so much for your comments. You said you are saying the truth. Wow, you are unique as well. Thank you so much. Okay, I just feel like it's something that I need to share, like just to remind people that sometimes we feel like nobody acknowledged us, right? We did something great and nobody acknowledged it, nobody accepted it. It doesn't mean that what you did is not worthwhile. It doesn't mean that what you did is not good just because other people don't acknowledge it, just because other people don't praise it. I understand that, in your creativity, it needs to get to a certain level where other people are also able to see what you're doing. They are able to recognize it, okay? Which is why we have awards, which is why we have talent shows, which is why we have this and that. Creators have an audience because the audience relates with them, and the audience is going to tell them that okay, you're on the right track. But at the same time, especially if you're in the beginning stage where the world has not discovered you yet, right? If you're in your beginning stage, you really need to be able to do as much as you can. You really need to be able to move from one step to the other step without any form of acknowledgement from anybody. It's easier for people to acknowledge you when like the whole world is already acknowledging you, right? After you get discovered, it's easier for everybody to like want to be in your favor. But at those beginning stages, those early stages where nobody knows you yet, where it's not popular to relate with you, where you don't have a lot of money, you don't have networks, you don't have a big name yet, you're not yet a household name, and like you don't have thousands of people on your side, it is important that every day you wake up, you look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself nice things. It is important that if you do something good, if you do something worthwhile, you are able to acknowledge yourself. It is important that you are able to reward yourself for the thing that you know that you have done. Okay, only you knows your journey. Only you know how hard, how you have had to fight for the things that you have, how you have had to fight to be where you are now, the sacrifices that you have had to make. So when you move from one level to the other level, for example, you pass a professional exam, or you take a test and you pass, or you set a target for yourself or a goal, or maybe you set a target to say, okay, in my business I'm going to have 20 customers this week, and you get that 20 customers. It's okay to reward yourself. It's okay to eat out. Okay, just take a few money out of the profit that you made and treat yourself. Just go to like a fast food or somewhere nice, just sit down and have a good time. Reward yourself for the hard work that you know you are doing. If you are sitting waiting for other people to reward you, waiting for other people to acknowledge you, you might be waiting for a longer time than you should. Okay, or wow, thank you so much for this compliment, Timileyin. You are a wonderful motivator and your emotional intelligence is splendid. Thank you so much. I try my best, and I do what I can, and that's basically how life is. Try your best every day, every time. Okay, there are some days that your best may not be enough, which is fine. Like even there are going to be phases or stages in your life where you are not going to be your best self. Okay, on those days you can still acknowledge that though I didn't do bad today, I also did not do as great as I should have. Okay, you don't need to beat yourself down, you don't need to like trample on yourself, you don't need to say nasty words to yourself, but just know that you were not bad today, but you were not great either. You were just on the average line today, and everyone knows that average is like the worst place you can be, because you're not bad, you're not good, you're just kind of like mediocre in the center. Nobody aims to be average. We all aim to be the best versions of ourselves. So even on the days where you are not the best version of yourself, it's fine to acknowledge that even though you were not that great, you didn't do as well as you should have. Okay, there's more work to be done, but acknowledge that for today you have done the best that you can do for today. For today you have done your part, and tomorrow you aim to be better. You hope to be better tomorrow, but for today you have done your part. Okay, you have come a long way, but there's still room for improvement. There's still room for growth. So what you can do is work harder, study harder, be more consistent. Okay, give yourself some grace while you are at it, because you will try and fail, definitely, in competitions sometimes. Yeah, and don't forget that people that give awards, they are not always correct. There are some competitions that I have watched the competition and I felt like third place should have been first place. That's my personal opinion. Okay, but the organizers, the judges, did not feel that way. For me, I felt like the person that they let go early should have been the winner. They should have stayed to the last place. Okay, just to let you know that in award shows, in talent shows, the people that are giving these awards and the people that are scoring you, they are not always right. They are not always accurate. They are still going to be people that feel like you are the best, right? Even though you came out third place or fourth place, they are still going to be people that would have felt like you are the best. And even times where you are the best, you came out first, they are going to people that feel like you didn't deserve it. That's just life. Everybody cannot be on your side, but at the same time, the good part is that everybody cannot be against you as well. So everybody cannot be for you and everybody cannot be against you. What is most important is that every day that you wake up in the morning, you are for yourself. Every day that you wake up in the morning, you are your biggest cheerleader. Every day that you wake up in the morning, you are your biggest supporter. Every day that you wake up in the morning, you're going to look at yourself and say that, even though I'm not the best, I'm not where I should be yet. I feel like I'm not giving it my best shot yet, but I know that there's room for improvement, and today I'm going to try and be the best that I can be. Today I'm going to try and do the best that I can do. Okay, so back to the topic. There are people that secretly admire you, and while those people are secretly admiring you also have to openly admire yourself. Okay, I'm not saying you should be proud or boastful. I'm not saying you should talk down on other people because you feel like you are better. No, I'm just saying that if you're good at something, you have to know. And even if you're not the best yet and you are trying to be good at that thing, also acknowledge your progress. Reward yourself for the progress so far. Okay, it wouldn't make sense for people outside to look down on you and you also look down on yourself. Like, if you are looking down on your own self, then it means you are about to give up now, and you shouldn't. Like, why would you give up? There are billions of people in this world and everybody is unique in their own way. Everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has something to contribute. No matter how minute it might seem, everybody has something that they can contribute. Everybody has a reason why they are here on earth. Okay, everybody has a role to play. Everybody has destiny and purpose to fulfill. So you can't give up, and you are not the best today does not mean that you will not be the best tomorrow. Okay, and don't forget that some people are not called to be the best. Sometimes you are just here to play your role in your own field. There are some people that are not that ambitious. Okay, it doesn't mean that they are not fulfilling purpose or they are not working in their destiny because they are not overly ambitious. I think sometimes we forget that life is very large and everybody has a role to play. Okay, there are some people that their own role is to support those that are going to the top. That's the truth about life. Not everybody is going to be number one. There are some people that their own is to be number three so they can support people that are number one. Not everybody is ambitious. There are people in this life that they are not that ambitious. They are very content. They just want what they can get for that day and they are okay. It doesn't mean that they're not great in their field, but for some reason that's just how they are wired. They don't want more. Like, they don't want to be number one. They are totally fine being number three or being number four or just being where they are. Okay, so I think as human beings we should study ourselves. We should know ourselves. Okay, what do I want out of life? Am I the ambitious type? Am I complacent? Am I the contented type? Like, what do I really want? Which is why when you're going into relationships, friendship, it is important to know your partner. It is important to know your friend. It is important to know your colleague. Let's say in an office setting now, you are very ambitious and they pair you for a task with someone that is not ambitious. You're going to feel like that person is drawing you back because the both of you don't have the same, like, both of you are not goal-getters. One person is a goal-getter, the other person is okay just achieving whatever you can achieve so he can go and sit down so he can rest, right? He doesn't care about winning the grand prize. He just cares about passing the average mark. That's what he cares about, right? So if you're with someone like that, there's going to be a bit of friction because both of you are not the same. Okay, both of you have personality differences. So it is very important to study your friends, to study your partner in relationship, to study your colleague, anybody that you are going to do something with. you have to study that person and know what that person is like. There are some business partnerships that fail. Why? Because one person, wants to get to the top, the other person feels like the risk is too high. Don't forget, every time you must grow, you must take a risk. Every time you must grow or advance to the next level, you must come outside of your comfort zone. And that stepping outside of your comfort zone is a risk, because if you are in your comfort zone, you know what to expect. You know, like, what's going to happen next. You know that, okay, this is how bad it can get, this is how good it can get. But the moment you take a risk, sometimes you even take big risks. Okay, you could invest all your money into the business, you could invest all your time into the business, you could get up and move to a different state. Okay, you could close one business and start another business. You could leave your job and apply for another job. You could leave your job without even having a spare job. You could leave your job to go into business. You could leave one relationship of 5 years because you feel like that relationship is not serving you anymore. For you to grow, you must step outside of your comfort zone. You must take what to you consider a risk. Now that's life. What I may consider a risk may be nothing to you, right? It may just be normal to you, but to me it's a risk, which is why you cannot measure your progress in life with another person, because we all have different paths in life, we all have different roads to walk. Okay, what to me might be big and huge, to you it might be nothing. Now, from someone coming from a broken home, to go into a committed relationship might be a risk for them, because they are not used to that kind of background. Now, for someone that has lived with family all their lives, for them to move out and live by themselves, it might be a risk for them, because they are not used to that. So whatever you are not used to, whatever is outside of your own comfort zone, to you that is a risk. But you have to know that in order to grow, in order to advance, you must do something that you have never done before, because that's growth. What is growth? Like, growth is basically moving to the next level, which is like doing things you have never done before, so you can get things that you have never had before. Do you understand? There are some people that will say, oh, I haven't gotten anything new in the last 1 year. It's because you have not done anything new in the last 1 year. So how can you get something new when you have never done anything new? If you have been earning, let me say, 100K a month, and you want to earn 500K a month, you should know that you have to do things you have not done before. You might need to work many hours longer than you used to work. You might need to do something new. You may need to add a side hustle to what you are currently doing. You might need to go out and network more, so you meet more people. You might need to have multiple sources of income. You might need to have different business partners. You will just need to do something different, something new, to get something that you have never had before. Okay, that's basically how it works. So for you to grow, you must take risks, and you need to understand the kind of person that you are, which is by taking risks. You cannot take an open risk. No, before you take a risk, you have to think about, okay, what is the consequences of this? If this goes right, how good can it get? And if this goes wrong, how bad can it really go wrong? Sometimes what we stand to gain from a risk is not like, if we were to go bad, it will be worse than what we stand to gain. So like, it's not worth it. The gain that you're going to get from that risk is not worth the bad part. Could it, like, just in case it goes bad, right? So it's not every risk that is worth taking. Like me, I'm all for taking risks. Like, that's me. Like, go ahead and take the risk. What's the worst that could happen? But if the risk is going to be life threatening, like life or death, I don't advise. If the risk is going to like leave you stranded without a place to stay, not a penny in your bank account and all of that, I don't really advise. Depends on the circumstances. Like, there are some advice that I need to know the specific circumstance before I can give you an advice tailored to that circumstance. Okay, but some advices are just general. So in the area of taking risks, it's not every risk that you can take. Some risks are too great. Okay, and it depends on your level. Like, you cannot be taking like big risks when you are on a small level. You have to advance at a rate. You have to advance like one step to the other, or you can jump 2 steps. But if you want to jump 5 steps at a go, you might encounter some issues because you are moving faster than your shadow, basically. So back to the topic, just know that there are people that really admire you. They may not tell you, and you cannot force people to give you compliments. You cannot force people to tell you what they think about you. You cannot force people to acknowledge that you are on the right track, that you're doing something new, you're doing something interesting. You cannot force people to acknowledge that you are somebody great. Okay, you can't force people to acknowledge it, right? But the best thing that you can do for yourself is recognize that you are on the right path, acknowledge yourself for how great you are, and just be the best version of yourself. Which is why there's one of my lives I was talking about looking good. if you look good, you would know that you look good. Just think about it. On the days that you dressed well, that you dressed really big, really fancy, didn't you feel good? You did. And if you are knowledgeable, you also feel good. Just imagine you enter into a room and you're very knowledgeable about the topic that is being discussed, either at work, in any conference, in any event. You would feel good about yourself because you know what's happening there. So one of the ways to really feel good about yourself is to equip yourself, okay? Is to increase yourself. Like, it can't just happen randomly. It needs to be a conscious effort. You need to say, okay, I feel like I don't know a lot about this particular topic. I feel like I'm not that knowledgeable. What can I do to improve my knowledge? Read books. Like, instead of spending your time scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on TikTok, like whatever, read books. Okay, read books. Of, if you're a business person, read autobiographies. People that have been in business for 10, 20, 30 years, they have written books. Read books. If you know some areas in your life where you are lacking, read books about that topic, just so that you can be more knowledgeable. There is nothing as great as knowledge, okay? People might say money is everything. Don't forget that wisdom is also important. With wisdom, you can, like, if you are knowledgeable, you have wisdom, you can think about like 4 different ideas to make you money, right? So like, money is not everything. There are also some things that are more valuable than money. Trust me. Like, the moment you begin to read, the moment you begin to watch educational videos, inspirational, motivational videos, like videos that have, like, they are value packed, like videos that give you value, you will begin to think different. Like, your mind will open, you begin to see things that you didn't see before. Your perspective will change. Like, it just feel like you're a brand new person, because now you're not thinking the way that you used to think. Like, you're thinking seriously. If a problem comes up, you are thinking of a solution immediately, because that's how much you have equipped yourself. That's how much you have, filled your mind with, you are now solution oriented. You don't just sit down and worry from morning till night, worry that won't change anything. You are now solution oriented. So if a problem comes up, you're thinking of a way to fix it. If someone is giving you an idea, you have an idea to add to that. If you're sleeping at night, ideas are playing around in your head, and when you wake up in the morning, you know the way to, start implementing them. So like, there's a lot I have to say, but I cannot say everything in one live. So I believe that we will continue this topic in the next live. But thank you so much, everyone that tuned in. I am really grateful. Thank you for your time. If you're here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to give this live a thumbs up, okay? Just a way to encourage me and motivate me. But like I said here, even if you decide not to encourage me, I'm still gonna encourage myself. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate everyone, and I would see you guys on the next live. Bye.